course I left and we went the wrong way, ya too foo-foo. And so, you act as if we can't go home and I can't jiggle those booty cheeks. And look at this, I beg, shift. We kill him, go home, get foo-foo. You speak about this foo-foo, man, but I know you sense all these demons around us. Calm down, let me cook. We go home, I have unreleased ale and tail.
This dude don't even know I'm looking at him. Oh yeah, Muzan gonna be happy with me. That's gonna be the...
Hold on, I'ma need that from you. Hold on, time. Hold on, let this be a quick message to your leader. I don't ever want to see this again. If he want to fight us, he better come himself. Now give me that head. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. That's just gonna sound freaky every time I say it. I can't avoid it. But we back with Demon Slayer, so push everything unimportant aside, like any weddings you have planned, any family dinners, any of that. Demon Slayer trumps it all. So after Sonomy busts up into a new room filled with dozens of demons looking like a Krispy Kreme donut box, he hits them with a mean wind attack and then passes a D-Wade to Braun level lob to Obanai, and he comes in with the finishing blow. And take a good look at this photo, because these two characters have to be the most antisocial characters I have ever seen. They have never gotten along this well off the battlefield, so why are they acting like they're twins on the battlefield? Got chemistry like Gyomei and Bot on the field, but when they're off, they look like Ed, and Eddie. And there's no third one, but I just thought of trios, and those were good trios, like to think of right off the dome. But when Sonomy gets caught lacking on the roof by all of these demons, like me and you in Fortnite when we used to chop down a tree fully instead of leaving it on 50 HP, he swings his sword once, then brings it over his head and hits him with an E5 level tornado, destroying each and every demon on that rooftop. And yeah, of course, he got to farm aura after this by making it rain blood on his head. But the main demon that they were chasing from the get-go decides to jump off of the roof, and they're like, yo, we're not letting you get away, Twinzo. So they jump off the roof with him, but they fall into the Infinity Castle. They're looking at all the demons as they fall, and they're like, yo, Obanai, I think we made a mistake, bro. Chacho, is this the end of the road? But then out of nowhere, they go back to where they were before, and they're out of the Infinity Castle, and the main demon they were chasing is gone. But we're back at the Butterfly Mansion like the start of every single season, because Tanjiro's body is made out of straight feather. This dude's brought back in a full body cast, knocked out each and every season. The Hashira are all gathered in the same spot again since the first time we saw them in season 1. And yes, sir, they all looking fashionable. They all looking fly per usual, but the news they're about to receive is gonna leave their clothes looking like a fat man running a 100-meter dash in 100-degree summer weather. Because last time they were united, they were told that someone working with them in their core had a demon on their side, and they're like, yo, this is blasphemy. We gonna kill this dude, we gonna kill the demon, we gonna kill the rest of their family. Oh wait, they already dead. My fault for that one. I gotta slip one in every video, bro. But they're told that the head of the Demon Slayer core, his condition's getting so bad he can't even see them anymore. He's starting to look like the purple man from FNAF. It is not looking good. And the Hashira are basically told, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all may be the top of the rank, but y'all are still sorry. The first person in this generation to manifest a mark wasn't even a Hashira. That man's a rookie, Tanjiro. And I know he's not a rookie anymore, but I don't know what the rank he is called, but it's not Hashira rank. Yeah, if that's all from Master's wife, I got money to make. Whoa, slow down there, man. That young brat has a mark and only 2 of us in this room, though, and you still don't want one? Yeah, I mean, being honest, I don't care. Girls love nonchalance. Whatever do you mean this does not concern you? I beg, shift, you're behind, back into your chair. You're trying to get a head start. Now listen to my unreleased DDG. Gyu straight up says, yeah, I'm nothing like y'all. What y'all do does not concern me. I'm dipping. Bye. These words alone get Sonomy heated, and he goes in for a grab on Gyu, but Gyomei straight claps his hands and the air starts to get heavy like a car being hot boxed by 40-year-old Walmart moms. Gyomei tells him to sit down like a bunch of good boys and girls, but we see in the future meeting Gyu did not listen. He's not scared of Gyomei. We got Zenitsu being a little freak as usual and just, you know, making the audience mad as a whole. It's hard to say I like Zenitsu when he does stuff like this, but don't worry. This man locks in soon. It's a funny haha comedic relief with Haganetsuka before things lock in for the final time in Demon Slayer. They had to make us happy one last time before the true battle begins. But the season truly starts when the Hashira are chilling in their meeting and they're like, you know what? These Demon Slayers are bums. I know we're Hashira, but not everybody's a Hashira and not everybody's gonna get that work done. So it's time for us to lock in and we gonna train these dudes. 30 days. No sleep. 30 days. No food. 30 days. No doom scrolling. And most importantly, 30 days working a job. Sorry if that took you by surprise again, but I actually lied because Tanjiro's talking to Gyu trying to get him to open up, and he actually tells us why he's so nonchalant and he don't talk to anybody. He gets to talking about his boy Sabito, and he's saying, yeah, this dude was a menace. This dude was a villain. Nobody was holding him in final selection besides that big chunky green dude, and if I could go back today, I would have slimed him out. Good thing Tanjiro did. He got his get back for Gyu without Gyu even knowing, at least to my knowledge. And basically, Gyu never passed final selection. He didn't pass it the right way, at least, because he went 7 days without killing a demon. He did live, but his boy Sabito got slimed out killing the big green demon. Rest in peace to Sabito. And Gyu ended up passing just from being alive. And Tanjiro's famous Talk no Jutsu takes him back to the time when Sabito told him, yo, when your older sister died, she died protecting you, so you better go ahead and carry on that will. And Gyu's like, hold on, I probably should. So he's up, we eat, and most importantly, boom, it's time for the training to actually take place. So Tengen's training all these rookies like he's at a military boot camp till Tanjiro runs up shirtless and hold on. I'm playing. I'm not even finna say that joke. That was finna be crazy. But what happened to my man over the seasons? This man's looking jacked, ripped. He's looking like Ashton Hall. I don't even know if this is the same Tanjiro from season 1. And Tengen's like, go ahead, carry Porky the pig up the mountain. And this man Tanjiro is speed blitzing everybody. He has the biggest guy on his shoulders and he's running past them. And after he makes it to the top, he starts hitting squats. And we cut to Sonomy and Obanai just straight dirty macking their underclassmen saying, yo, they're not getting me heated enough for battle. So I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna unlock my mark. And also, this ain't even about winning, but I'm gonna win too, cause why not? But I'm sorry, before the fade, Tengen's like, yo, demons are outside at night. What better exercise than to try to fight me, a Hashira, at night? Hey, I may be retired, I may be Unc or Gramps if you want to call me that, but I can still give you the beats. So he's weeding these rookies out in the night. They can't even see him. They can't even move quick enough to react. Tanjiro hits him with a game plan saying, get close to me. This man's a shinobi. He can move quick. Tengen catches them off guard trying to get in their 2-3 zone, but Tanjiro blocks that jump. Shockwaves from the attack alone blew all the rookies to the trees. Whoa, dude, you got better. Yo, why is this dude talking like this, bro? But Tanjiro decides to swing his sword up and leaves this man Tengen doing a crazy backflip turn in the sky. Tanjiro straight dashes in and clashes with Tengen and starts chopping at his sword like a lumberjack trying to chop down a tree. Got the rookies in the back glazing saying, is this what happens to someone who fought in Upper Moon? They can hold their own with a Hashira? Like, stop looking at the fight and get in. Start putting some work in. Start putting some weight in. Fencing poke with a deflection and a few more hits before a weave. But dude thought he was safe. Mbappe level kick to the sword, sending him flying back, but he catches himself. Tanjiro wasn't tracking no mud and ruining his Kyoto 3000s, but let's resume. Tengen's back in there with a swing and they back at it like they never left. This man's walking him down like Sasuke did to Danzo. Tengen jump spins like a Beyblade, hits a tree back down, weave. Him and Tanjiro hit one more big clash before he smiles like Duke Dennis, and then he gets absolutely swarmed and then the fight's over. Yeah, no, you guys are some buns. Cut the crying out. Like did on all 3 of my wives' lives, Tanjiro's just better. And Tanjiro ends up being the only one that passed, so he's like, bye-bye, bums. I'm moving on to Muichiro. And this man Muichiro's just bullying his students, fighting with one hand, moving flawlessly, effortlessly. This dude is not even trying. Against an Upper Moon? Bro, make sure you don't drop the soap. And you know how this man Muichiro's cold face, dead serious all the time. He sees Tanjiro pull up and suddenly life is peaches and cream. Life is rainbows and sunshine. This man's the happiest dude on planet Earth. But things can't always be peaches and sunshine and everything nice and a good time, because at nighttime they have these eyes that spy on them and track their each and every movement. And keep this in mind, because it's gonna be mad important very soon. Hey, but forget about those eyes, because Sonomy and Obanai still gotta run that fade. Sonomy opens up with his famous E5 tornado, but Obanai's up here in the sky with his snake sword. He then turns his sword into Ka from Jungle Book and hits Sonomy head on, sending this man back. No way we even. So 20 bands will be even. I'm not gonna lie, bro, y'all sitting here talking about money when y'all still have no mark. And Sonomy and Obanai are like, bet, we running the fade, but it's not gonna be a 1-on-1-on-1, free for all if you will. Nah, it's me and him versus you, Achu. bless you, cause you gon' need it. And this man Muichiro wastes absolutely no time, cause he's already in there. Left Obanai lost like he's looking for the One Piece, and he's behind Sonomy. Sonomy hits a gold medal gymnast move to dodge, but misses his attack. Blocks Muichiro, then toadstools him like he's playing Smash Bros. Obanai switches with Sonomy like Sonomy just handed him the baton. Obanai crashes in the ground at Muichiro, and they find in the smoke we can't even see, but Sonomy sending in win third partying. They then turn the battlefield to Dusty Divot after it got hit with meteors after their battle's done. But on the next day, Muichiro decides it's time to run his one with Tanjiro. And just like with Tengen, this man's actually holding his weight instead of getting absolutely demolished like every other demon slayer in the vicinity. He got this man Muichiro spinning around, twirling, giggling, and cheesing like a middle school couple. But when he goes in for one more attack on Tanjiro, and Tanjiro weaves that junk and then ends up clashing with Muichiro, Muichiro's like, yeah, nah, you pass. These other slayers here, they're just slaw. They could learn a thing or two from you, but you can go ahead and move on to the next Hashira. You got that, Brody. Tanjiro's like, wait, let's have some more comedic relief and some more fun times before we have to go into the Infinity Castle and fight for our lives. So let's throw some paper airplanes, and yeah, we done with that. Tanjiro has some more jokey joke training with Mitsuri. I guess they're working on flexibility and whatnot, but this training literally lasted 3 seconds. I guess this man was the most flexible out of the bunch, but compared to everybody else, this seems to be a trend. He's just greater. But he pulls up to his next training location is with the Hashira that hates him the most, Obanai himself, the Snake Man. He knows that he was training with Mitsuri, so he's like, yeah, I bet you had a fun time, huh? Chilling with my girl like that. And from this alone, Obanai gives me the vibes that you guys could be best friends for 20 years, but if he won the lottery like millions on top of millions, this man wouldn't even give you a dime. And Obanai tells Tanjiro, for your training, you gotta swing your sword through these tight spots and not hit these guys. It's easy. You can do it. I believe in you. And Obanai peeps that this man Tanjiro's hesitating, trying not to hit the people tied up, so he's like, I bet. So now, not only are you gonna have to swing through these tight areas without hitting the people, you're gonna have to try to hit me now while I'm gonna be moving. I'm not gonna be no stationary target. Good luck, buddy. And this man Tanjiro is just straight getting cooked days upon days. He's trying not to hit the people. He's getting gut checked, chin checked, chest checked, hit everywhere he can be checked. And it's not looking too bright for Brody right now. So he pulls a Drewski, early bird gets the worm, except he's doing this at nighttime, and after practice he's training trying to get better. And after dude gets beat so bad that right below his eyebrow it looks like he got the lens of a pair of shades shoved right in them, but I feel like this helped him in his fight because some way somehow this bruise must be reflecting the attacks that Obanai is sending at him. And that was complete yap. I just wanted to talk. But he starts reading his attacks as if he was reading a Dr. Seuss book. It's looking a little too easy. He imagines himself in a forest and he starts running. Obanai's going for full-on attacks and he's deflecting each and every single one. I don't know how this man was moving from barely hitting through these tight spaces to deflecting each and every attack and moving through the terrain like it's actually there. Obanai extends his sword like a foot long at Subway. Tanjiro deflects that junk, deflects another attack, then straight up cuts through his Haori. I mean, it's not perfect, but I still hit the dude. Thank you and goodbye. Zenitsu pulls up screaming yet again, you know, every second. Every moment I tweak, but I was a long time Zenitsu investor, so I know my stocks hit. And Sonomy straight up cooking each and every one of them. Like, this training was the hardest. They stood absolutely no chance. This man absolutely hits Tanjiro with like a 20-piece combo. I can't even see all the attacks. Punches him at the end, leaves him looking purple. It's bad. He had to go inside. I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry. Being real, I don't care, man. Wait up, partner. I ate demons to get here. Also, you can recognize me. Wait, did I hear you right? Knock the accent out of me. You ate demons? You're lying, man. No way you ate demons. He stomps on the ground and the room gets heavy like Gyomei. Sonomy then flash steps away and Tanjiro senses the danger, telling Genya to get out the way, but his hands are already at his eyes. Tanjiro ends up grabbing Genya, but the speed of his hands alone end up cutting Genya's face and they hop outside. Sonomy flash steps again and punches him straight in the gut, but Tanjiro ends up catching his fist. Tanjiro kicks him square in the head, and Sonomy hits him with a breakdance spin kick, but he misses. And Tanjiro gets hit with one more punch before all the trainees gang up up on Sonomy and jump dude. He then proceeds to get banned from going near him like when Squidward got a restraining order on SpongeBob. Then him and Zenitsu move on to their final training with Gyomei, and they also see a familiar face. It's the goat and the boarhead Inosuke. Gyomei basically tells him if your core is weak, you won't hit any attacks, so they get to cold plunging like Jordan Ferrone. So he locks in under that waterfall like an ancient monk, like Wimby went to China to better his basketball game. That's the type of training Tanjiro's doing right now. And he's not training alongside some regular rookie. That's Murata next to him, the LeBron James of the Demon Slayer universe. And after Tanjiro completes his waterfall training, it's time for him to clean and jerk 3 logs, some type of weight that only Thorko could carry. But we're back on serious time and no more jokes. We get to the Infinity Castle and Nakime saying that she located 60% of the Demon Slayer core members. Come on! You're becoming such a good demon, I might even let you touch me. You know, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm recording these lines, they're off the dome, off the fly, but why is this stuff coming into my head? Like, why am I thinking this way? Little self-reflection, but let's lock back in. But Tanjiro finally moves on to his final training session with Gyomei, and he has to push the boulder, and he's just not getting it done. And I know this isn't important to the training or to the recap as a whole, but this man Tanjiro, his crow straight up tells Ginya's crow to end his life. Like, why is Tanjiro's crow moving like this? You got Tanjiro, the nicest soul in the series, and his crow's out here moving like low tier god. But Genya basically tells him, shape up before you get kicked out. All you gotta do is imagine your saddest day. So kind of like when your entire family died, you know, go ahead, imagine that, and you should be able to push this boulder no problem. So Tanjiro gets to screaming, trying to push the boulder out the way, and this man barely even budges it. So before Tanjiro gets to work on pushing this boulder, he has to have a quick flashback of his family. Another quick flashback of Rengoku telling him to set his heart ablaze. And that's exactly what he does. He pushes into that boulder, he's screaming, and he actually starts moving the boulder. Bro, I've seen literal dwarves take further steps in that. That's not finna be enough. So the sun starts hitting this man's back, and he starts to reminisce on the time when his sister was actually a human. And he sees his fam in Rengoku, and his body temperature rises, his mark is back, and he straight starts pushing this boulder like it weighs nothing. Few seconds ago, you would have thought his arms looked like baby alien, but now he's moving like a ripped Sam Sulek, and he's pushing this boulder further and further. And the Inosuke's on that. I'm not finna let Tanjiro outdo me in front of no one. I don't care if it's boys or girls watching. So he runs up to that boulder, he starts pushing that junk, and Zenitsu's over here in the corner like, dang, they doing it and I'm just sitting here doing nothing. But peep game, and it's time to lock in. Dude, what? Stop poking me. Poke me again and you're meeting Tanjiro's mom. They're pushing their boulders, I still can't. Alright, say hi to cousin Alberto.
I've been telling your dumb self to look down, look at you.
Hold on. What? Is that for me? Gyomei walks up to Tanjiro and he's like, yes, sir, dude, you know what? I respect you for choosing the villagers over your own sister. That takes some guts to do. Tanjiro's like, take that respect back. You know, I wasn't the one who made that decision. She kicked me into the sky. I didn't want to go save the villagers. I just wanted to save her. So Gyomei goes into his past. He's talking about, I gotta make sure the kids can eat before I eat. That's why he's looking like Slender Man instead of the big dude he looks like today. But this cat looking op who's linked to Zenitsu and is linked to Gyomei as well, he's just universally known as a terrible man. He didn't listen to the rules because I guess he was feeling a little rebellious, so he led a demon back to the crib and he made a deal with him. He's like, listen to this, you know, you let me go, you let me live, 8 kids and 1 man in there. He don't got a lot of meat on his bones, but I'm sure you could make some work. And the demon gets inside and he gets to work instantly. Gyomei's like, yo, stay behind me if you want to live. They're like, yeah, no, we want to die, I guess, because they just go running out. They get their next cut in a heartbeat. Only one person stays behind Gyomei, and Gyomei's like, bet. So he runs up to the demon. He takes both the demon's arms off, gets his forehead cut. That's how he got that cold scar. And he beats dude's face in until daybreak. And then when it's all over, the little girl says, you know what? Yeah, he did it all. He killed everybody. Arrest that man. He gets locked up. But the master saved his life. W Master. What's good, sorry Slayer? Did your boulder move? No, not yet. Dang. Why are you talking all serious now? Nezuko's here. Hey, I know that's gonna get you to yapping all again. Is that the truth? I mean, you could go ahead and tell her. I'm not really into that right now. I'm just about my bread and meditation. Nah, I just know he's lying. Just focus on your money, bro. Like, it ain't all about girls and all about all this stuff, you know? There's deeper things in this world, like books. We read for a reason. I don't know what possessed this guy, made him think he the new age Socrates, but he's tripping. I think it's time to lock in. I gotta start touching up on my knowledge about women's suffrage again. But after Zenitsu's just sitting on that boulder farming aura, Tanjiro decides it's time to move on to his next trainer, which is Giyu. But Gyu and Sonomy are running that squabble. Sonomy turns on his jets and goes spinning in at Gyu. Quick 1-2 with the block, and they're straight going at it, but this is training for Tanjiro too, cause he can track their movements. Sonomy's attacking and Gyu's blocking, and Gyu hits him with a whoop sidestep. Sonomy's behind him and sees an opening, and he goes for an attack, but Gyu straight blocks that jump. They end up breaking each other's weapons and creating an explosion, and Sonomy's like, nah, we still gonna run this, just throw it with hands. Sonomy leaves to go blow off some steam, but he notices something is off. He sees an eye spying on him. He straight up grabs that junk, and he feels a cold gust of wind, a cold gust of aura running through his body, like Lord Piccolo pulled up to the Demon Slayer universe and had to flex real quick. And he peeps that HQ has been infiltrated. The doors to the mansion slowly open up, and you have smoke just straight up rolling in, and this man's taking steps as slowly as possible, moving like a turtle just to farm that aura. Bronchitis cleared up. Oh yeah, we blowing the whole place up. The Slayers got it. Go ahead and reunite with your family, cause I'm going out and taking you. I'm a demon and I know lying is a sin. Okay, if I'm really lying, you better be here to find out. I'm dying with my girl unlike you. And all the Slayers are running to the mansion. They're trying to make it there before whatever pops off. And I have never seen this man Sonomy show so much emotion. Obanai as well, because these guys are usually deadpan, dead face. Even the same for Muichiro. This dude's sweating bullets. Gyu too, he ain't safe from the mix. But the Ubayashikis decide to press that red button and they blow up the entire mansion. And side note, this is the most beautiful death scene I've ever seen. The attention to detail on this explosion is crazy. But yeah, the Hashira did not make it in time. The whole place gets blown to smithereens. Muzan's looking like they left him in the sun a little too long. But when he comes to and finally regenerates, it's one thing after another. He ends up getting impaled by a bunch of random red spikes that came out of nowhere. And out of nowhere, the camera starts to pan and we see Lady Tamayo, and she got her hand straight through his stomach. However, Muzan kicks her leg, then puts his thumb through her forehead like he's sticking it through an apple. But this was all a part of the plan, cause once Muzan actually turns around, we see Gyomei pulling up out of invisibility, spinning his weapon, stomps into the ground, hits a little slide like a skater, and he swings his weapon all the way from downtown Ontario to LA where the stars walk, and he knocks Muzan's head clean off his shoulders. It was so clean they had to play it back for us again. But Muzan isn't going so easily. This man regenerates in a heartbeat. But Gyomei already knew this information and he's not wavering. He's running straight into battle. Muzan twitches his arm a little and sends an attack at Gyomei. Gyomei got it on lock though. He's deflecting each and every attack, spinning his weapon, saying, I took a masterclass with Tengen. This is light work for me. And now all of the Hashira are finally making it here and they're ready to throw hands with any and everyone. They just gotta know who did this to the mansion.
Hey, y'all lock in, that's Muzan. We kill him and we win the war.
And each and every single Slayer goes running in. They're locked. They're pulling out breathing techniques we haven't even seen most of these guys use. But Muzan must have true beef with Tanjiro, because it's not till he pulls out his breathing technique and the Hashiras hit this cold pose that he straight up just smiles. Cue the Jimi Hendrix guitar riff, because it's not till that biwa gets sounded and they all start getting straight up dropped into the Infinity Castle. Genya's practicing his shotgun shots. Hold on, boom. Join us in the castle. You enjoying a good meal by yourself, buddy? Too bad. Join us in the Infinity Castle. You can finish that jump later. Y'all out on a patrol right now? You don't need to search no more, cause we'll bring you straight to us. Join the Infinity Castle. And Inosuke, he's locked in, ready for a fade in this castle. Forget the fool he left behind. Genya's looking a little shaky, but I know he's ready for a fade. Kanoa, however you say her name, she looks locked in too, and she's actually talking. That's cool. But most important of all, the star of the show, Zenitsu straight up catches his sword while he's falling through the castle. Wait, but hold up. I ain't hearing no snoring, but his eyes are still closed. He's gotta be sleeping. Zenitsu just straight up opens his eyes. He's the most locked in of them all, cause he ain't even catching Z's. But yeah, all the cool reactions are out the way. The rest of them, they're just falling. They're like, what, where are we? Yeah, you better lock in, cause you better have the fade of a lifetime, buddies. Gyu ain't even worried about himself. He's just looking for Tanjiro. And Tanjiro lands into a roll, showed off his sword like it was a Richard Mille. Each and every single one of you Slayers is going to hell. Oh my mama, you the only one going. Oh, is that for real? You tell that dead mama of yours I said, hey, her son's coming home. And Tanjiro just falls lower and lower, and they decide to end it right then and there. Dang. They couldn't have left us on a worse cliffhanger. But hopefully y'all did enjoy that video per usual. That's finna be my last Demon Slayer video till Infinity Castle, or I might go back and do season 1 or Mugen Train because I never did those. But this is my last upload till July. Don Da Don season 2. Gotcha season what? Oh, we finna be eating extravagantly. I'm finna be going crazy with those because I'm so hyped to make videos on both of them. Possibly one, we just gonna see. But I'm gonna stop my yapping. Like, subscribe, turn on notice so you never miss another banger, because that's all I'm finna be posting. And with all that said, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Oh, that brings back.